In order to secure your video meetings, several of my clients have had questions about how to deal with participant video, how to disable or enable chat, and other questions. So for the purposes of this video, you want to come into your Zoom meetings settings in a web browser. You will not be able to do this from the client. And so when you come into your Zoom meetings, you'll probably come into your profile screen. But you want to go down to settings on the left-hand menu. And under settings, you'll have several options that go from scheduling the meeting all the way down to other. So let's look through this list and enable and disable some features that might make your meeting more secure, as well as other customized features that you would want to set for webinar type meetings. And this is in Zoom meetings, not in Zoom webinar. There are different capabilities if you have Zoom webinar. This particular demonstration is for Zoom meetings. The first thing you see under schedule meeting here is host video is on. If you want to immediately be seen, you can turn this on, or you can turn it off and then have your picture showing until you're ready to view. Second, participant video is a question that I had asked. If you want your participants' video to be off, this is a webinar type meeting without having Zoom webinars. So you would turn off participant video. So they would start the meeting with participant video off instead of on. Participants can change this during the meeting. Audio type allows for you to let people call in as well as use computer audio. For most meetings, you don't want your participants to join before the host unless it's a small or personal group meeting. So turn off join before host. Another feature that you want to look at is mute upon entry. This will automatically mute all participants when they join the meeting. The host controls whether participants can unmute themselves. This is a feature that you do want to turn on. So you mute participants upon entry, and then you say who can be unmuted. So if you're in a meeting and you want to make sure that there's no background noise, that people aren't unmuting themselves and talking over you or your panelists, you want to make sure that this is on, that it is blue. So you can mute participants on entry. Another thing that you look at is chat. And all of this is now under in meeting basics. So chat, allow meeting participants to send a message visible to all participants. You want to turn this off unless there's a specific reason why you need the chat feature. You want to turn this off so that you won't have people typing in the chat when you are conducting your meeting or your panelists are speaking. Now, you can have participants do a private chat. So this is allowing meeting participants to send a private one-on-one message to another participant. You have to think very carefully about this as well for the private conversations going on. Co-host is another feature that you want to look at if you have panelists who are also going to be helping you run the meeting, or you want them to have similar abilities that you have to work with the controls within Zoom during your meeting. So co-host allows the host to add co-hosts. Co-hosts have the same in-meeting controls as the host. You turn this on, and then it gives your panelists some freedom, or if there's someone else who's conducting the meeting with you, and you can designate who that people is, who those people are. Another thing is who can share their screen. I have mine set as host only. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. So if you had all participants, then there might be an option here. Here it's automatically set to host only. So if this is a meeting where no one else needs to share their screen other than the host, it's safer to have host only screen sharing. I like this nonverbal feedback. It allows participants in a meeting to provide nonverbal feedback by clicking icons like a raised hand or like I agree. And this gives you feedback without them having to speak or opening up their line. Another option is hide participant profile pictures in a meeting. So this says that all participant profile pictures will be hidden and only the names of participants will be displayed on the video screen. Participants will not be able to update their profile pictures in the meeting. And this is just another safeguard if you don't want the thumbnail pictures of the people who are on the screen. Because, you know, sometimes people have different pictures, not just their face. So this will, you turn that on, will allow the profile pictures to be hidden. And these are just some other settings that are not so relevant for what we're speaking about. Now there are other features that are available within the client when you start an actual meeting. And so let's look at that. So I'm going to start a meeting with video off. I'm going to open in Zoom meetings, join with computer audio. I wanted to show this option right here. When you look at participants, you should see the ability for them to tell you yes, no, go slower, go faster, more, they're going on a coffee break, waving at you, thumbs up or thumbs down, or they're away. These are examples of the feedback that I spoke about earlier. Then when you click these ellipses, this is where you can do things like mute participants on entry, and you can remove these. Allow participants to unmute themselves. I would remove that, and allow participants to rename themselves. I would uncheck that as well. I wouldn't enable the waiting room unless there is some type of security concern there. And definitely not play the enter and exit chime if you're not going to lock the meeting for participants to come in. Those are basically the features without me having participants in the room that you would be able to use to lock down your meeting or do certain configurations. All right. There will be more videos that we will look at in order to work with Zoom, as there is an increased need for Zoom or people who use the Zoom platform virtually during this time of quarantine and in the future of our new normal.